Welcome to the GMB free business.site instant verification method. This is a hybrid of the instant Google Search Console instant verification, and you can even go into things that have to do with authority accounts, but it's a lot less work. All right. So that being said, the good thing here is you don't have to buy any domains, you don't have to do any scraping, sorting, or anything like that. It's not needed whatsoever. So, of course, as we all know, you have to create an account, go to account.google.com, click on to manage my business. Again, you're not using a domain-based email, so create whatever Gmail address you want to. Your passwords, verify it via phone. I use textverified.com to do that. That's just, I get the Gmail SMS messages for 75 cents. So that's fine with me. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to create the account, and then I'm going to go ahead and gather my listing information, where and what I want to verify, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've created my account and got that verified via textverified.com for the phone SMS verification step of making that account. And of course, there's a couple new people, and I use, again, multi-login, and I use dedicated IP proxy or proxy IPs, again, so I can manage different profiles within, you see all that, within one platform. Okay, so I think you can do this process on your own PC or laptop using your own browsers. I think if you're doing a lot of volume, though, that would not be a good idea. So I suggest that you have every listings in its own unique browser profile with its own unique IP address for each listing. Okay, so now that the account's created, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I get addresses. Okay, so I'm just going to go to loopnet.com. This is one of the ways you can get an address. And I'm looking for a commercial address in Virginia Beach. I already had that locked in there. Virginia Beach. There we are. Virginia Beach. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to make sure that, it's kind of running slow here, make sure that I'm picking, a lot of times, it depends on the industry. This specific listing is going to be a dumpster rental listing, and the category is going to be garbage collection service. All right, this is just my example. So when I'm using home services type categories, I'll just select flex. And now if it's a smaller town, office is fine as well. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through here. We'll just use this building here. I'm just looking for something that is somewhat realistic to, let's see what this type of business, where they would conduct their business from. I'm going to search it in Google, and the only thing that I don't like about this is I try to stay away from locations that has another GMB at that location. Technically, you can do that, but you want to make sure you're not verifying a GMB at a location where one or more GMBs already have the same primary category as you. That's just, you're going to get filtered out. So in this case, there's a barber shop there. Probably not the end of the world, but I'm going to look for something else here. There's no picture, so let's, again, I just pull it up, Google search it. And that needs to be changed to Virginia Beach. There we go. All right, this one has another company there as well. So let's give it another shot here. I don't want to waste too much time doing this. Let's see, Virginia Beach. We'll try this here. Okay, this has a bunch of different businesses, so odds are I'm going to use a suite modifier, a suite number. Search this in Google. All right, it's already at Virginia Beach. Now, if I scroll down, I don't see any other GMBs there, which is nice, but this doesn't guarantee that there isn't another GMB there, and we'll find out as we're submitting it. Again, this is a big office building. I can already see other GMBs there. For some reason, they don't have them listed below. So I'm going to use this address. I'm just going to put this on a notepad. I suggest you use Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet or whatever you're most comfortable with. So now I'm going to build my listing. I want to have a listing with a completely branded name. Okay, I don't want any keywords in it whatsoever. That, after we verify, which I'll show you, we can change in categories and whatnot. Again, I'll get into that post verification. But for now, I'm just going to call AWL Okay, very generic. The address, I'm just going to copy from here. All right, and just to be on the up and up, I'm going to give it a suite number. Doesn't matter what the number is, just throw something in there. You're going to see in a second, I put my suite numbers in line 2. All right, so my category, my end category, is garbage collection service. Okay, but we're doing instant verification, and that specific category isn't eligible. Okay, and so this is just something that takes practice depending on your niche. For instance, if you're doing garage door, you might want to verify with something like home improvement store. Okay, so sometimes it's trial and error, but in this case, I've done this before. My end category needs to be garage or garbage collection service. I want to use a category that verifies instantly, and I just happen to know that recycling drop-off location will go through relatively easily. And just another side note before we get there, once we start adding our secondary categories, do something called the category swap. We want to add categories that are related to the end category. Okay, so if it's garbage collection service, you want secondary categories like 3 other categories that are related, 2 being categories that you don't want, and you'll get rid of them later, and then the 1 category you actually want to end up with the end product. So when I'm looking into something like that, let me get this correct here. I use plepper.com, Peeper, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. And again, just to get relevant categories that are relevant to what you want the end product to be, I'd use the top Google My Business function and tools. And I will just type in garbage collection service. So I have it right here. I'll click on related categories. And you have things like waste management, garbage dump, recycling center, stuff like that. I don't want to go too far into this right now because we're going to cover that post-verification when we're completing our listing, but just to have an idea, when you are building your listings to get instantly verified, you want to keep in mind that a lot of categories aren't eligible for instant, and you can get with me if you need help with that. I have a good idea of which categories are or are not. So that being said, we have name, address, primary category for instant verification. I'm going to grab a phone number here that I'm going to use for the actual listing. You just have to have that information. So I'm going to take that and go back here. And again, this is the free GMB business.site method, so we don't need to include our website domain. If you have one that you want in the finished or end product, again, I'll show you how to add that. It's very simple to do. So this time we just have the very basic information. I'm not interested in hours of operation, services offered, or any of the other details that you might include in a final product or completely finished GMB. We just want something that is branded, non-keyword based name. Address is just somewhere appropriate. You can do whatever you want. I happen to use LoopNet. You can also use Maps, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just find wherever you want to be. Category that I know will instantly verify, and the phone number, because as I'm signing up with other sites, I'll need to have that phone number. Okay, so let's move on and let's go back to multi-login. All right, hit continue, get started, and again, the business name is AWL Group. So we're just going to go through this quickly. Most people know how to do this. Recycling drop-off location. Okay, you always want to say yes. Just a little bit of review for some or for you. All right, and then I'm just going to grab my address here and populate that quickly. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this out here. That line 2 is my suite modifier number. Hit next. This is like the GSC or any other instant method that was done in the past. Obviously, you do not want to say that you serve customers at that location. That will automatically disqualify you from instant verification. So we're going to say, no, I don't. We can fix that later. I'm going to go ahead and grab my phone number. And if you're grabbing a phone number, use the phone number that you're going to want on the end product. I'm going to paste it in there. Now down here, you want to click on Get a Free Website based on your info. That's what I want. Hit Next. Stay in the know. Hit Next. Let it give you the verification mode, or which method. Ironically, this was a phone number, but this is a brand new phone number. If I were to verify that way, just what's going on right now, and we're in June, late June of 2021, you could verify and it would sit in review forever. So that's of no use to us. So usually it's going to say postcard. That's interesting. Never mind that. More options. Verify later. And when we actually submit for instant, we'll get rid of the phone number, or when I get there, you'll see it's not a big deal. Not interested in any of this. I'm going to go to info. All right, that's the basic information I want. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the browser and click on finish up. So publish. Now, this information may or may not publish as an unclaimed map pin in Maps. If it does, great. For the method that we're using now, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that our GMB biz site's been created. If I just want to check quickly and see, if it's populated maps, I can look at that there. Great, it populated. Don't worry if it doesn't populate. You can take note of the URL for the map listing. This is running a little slow. And right now they didn't have the business site. Okay, doesn't matter. We just want to have it set up within GMB. This will probably update later, and it is what it is. I have a phone number in there, so typically with unclaimed listings that are created within GMB, they don't want contact information because they want you to verify to have a legitimate listing, etc., etc. So now that that part's been done, very simple stuff, we're going to move on to step 2. I'm going to take you through that. There's going to be a third step, and this is a very simple, easy method, so I'll see you in step 2. Something funny, I just wanted to include this real quick, is when I click verify again, or verify now, get verified, it actually went to postcard. I don't know why, but that just tells you if you get a phone trigger, just ignore it. All right. The other thing is, technically, when you're building the GMB information, you don't even have to put a phone number in there. Okay, you're going to need a phone number in step 2, but really I just could have taken it out. I'll apply that. Edit will probably go under review even though it's not verified, and I could update my listing, refresh it, and because there's a phone number and a GMB site in there, okay, it doesn't have the information, great, doesn't really matter. I can't help but have that happen. It's either going to drop a pin or not. This is not the goal at all. I just wanted to kind of clarify that in most cases with the GMB, I kind of made a mistake. Just don't put a phone number in there. It doesn't matter. That stuff can be added post verification. So now I will see you in step 2.